The journey of finding a job can be a very lonely, difficult, and tiring one. You will go through multiple rounds of interviews, multiple rounds of applications, and then finally, one day you will get your coveted job. Now, nobody can tell you when this will happen, whether it will take 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. Nobody can predict. How to stay calm during this process? How to stay motivated? इसी बारे में हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे और मैं आपको 5 ऐसे चीजें बताऊंगा जो आपको इस जर्नी में मोटिवेट करेंगी, जो आपको इस जर्नी में हेल्प करेंगी to make your journey less painful and little more exciting. Hi, I am Satyajit Senapati. I am a best-selling author, Tedx speaker, and a corporate leader with close to 2 decades of work experience. In this channel, we will talk about all things related to work, life, and career. Stay tuned for the video. You could be someone who is looking for a job, and you could be someone who has just been laid off and trying to get back to workforce. In either of this case, the journey of finding a job can be a tough one because nobody can predict when your next job will happen. It depends on a lot of factors. For example, the demand for your skill, the macroeconomic environment, how senior you are, your seniority level, what kind of compensation you were drawing in your previous organization. There are a lot of factors which come together in deciding when you will get your next job. So it could take 3 months, it could take 6 months, or it could take a year or over a year. So nobody can accurately predict it. But what will happen is, in this process, you will get interviewed at various places and you will face rejections. So how do you handle these rejections? And what does this rejection do to you? So as soon as rejection starts, initially the momentum is there. But soon after, what happens is when you have multiple rejections one after the other, it starts putting self-doubt in your mind. You start thinking that nobody really wants you in job. You'll probably not get a job because you are not adequately skilled. You should not entertain these kind of thoughts. So let me share with you 5 tips that I have personally used, personally experienced, and have gained from in my job search processes that I'm sure is going to help you. So tip number 1, consider this period of unemployment as something to be finite. I know you don't know when you will get a job, but just always remind yourself that this period is going to be finite. Now, how it will help? Now, if you view this period as finite, you will be able to look at it as a sabbatical, as a period in which you can try out different things. So go out and explore things that you have never done before, and you will see different kinds of opportunities unfolding for you. It can be fulfilling in many ways. So look at this period like a period of sabbatical. Only difference is you don't know when it is going to end, but be very certain that it's going to end for you. Tip number 2, go back to the drawing board. Whenever you are going to give an interview, there are 2 reasons why you can be rejected. The first reason is, of course, a shortage of skill set, or your skills are not up to the mark. If that's the case, then it is a classic case where you need to find out what is your skill gap. You identify your skill gap and then work towards improving the skill gap. Take certifications, do courses, reach out to coaches, mentors, do whatever, but bridge that gap. Now, the second reason why you can face rejection is because it could be a case of job fitment. You are not fitting the role. Now, this is very simple because you need not be disheartened. So, for example, if you are going to the market and buying a shoe and that shoe doesn't fit you, is it the mistake of your feet or is it the mistake of your shoe? It is actually none. It is a question of fitment, and you will not buy that shoe. So when you are rejected because there is no fitment, it's actually not a rejection, it's a lack of fitment for the role. So don't worry about it. Just think that you need to do more to find the right kind of fitment for your profile. And you can do so by knowing what are your strengths, what are your areas where you have expertise, and looking at the JD of these profiles very clearly and understanding whether there is a match or not. The more focused applications you will put, the higher likely chances of you not getting rejected. Tip number 3, you can reach out to the recruiter to see if there is any feedback available. Now, this is a long shot because most companies do not provide any feedback. But if you are lucky and you get hold of the recruiter who is willing to give you that feedback, I think this will be a very big value add. Reach out to the recruiter, try to see what went wrong, what could have gone right, what are the things you need to look out for, and take this feedback as is, analyze, and see where all you can improve. Tip number 4, this is a bit philosophical. Look at these rejections as redirections. In one of the TED events where I was speaking, one of my co-speaker told that if at all you are applying for a job and you don't get through that job, just fold your hands and pray to God, saying that thank you, I didn't get this job because you have got something better aligned for me. So have that firm belief that this rejection is actually a redirection to the true role, to the true company that you are actually looking for. Be thankful, and then you will see a difference in your mindset. Tip number 5, most important, don't beat yourself up. Don't ever think that you are not enough. Always think of opportunities to improve. If it's a skill gap, improve. If it's not a fitment, try to find the fitment of the job. But never ever beat yourself down saying that, okay, I'm not good enough, I don't have the skill, people are not wanting me in their companies. Don't ever entertain such thoughts. Don't do a self pity. Don't go hard on yourself. This is extremely important because it creates a negative environment around you where you will not be able to keep your motivations on. So these are the 5 things I wanted to discuss with you. This is a very sensitive topic and one can go on and on discussing about things. But get the idea. The whole point is this is going to be a very lonely and a very difficult journey. And only you can find a way through it. And you have to stay motivated, you have to stay rejuvenated, and you have to really understand that it is only you who can get you that far. So, all the very best in your job search. Never lose hope. And yes, stay tuned.